So hello learners, this is Priyadarshi Shubhakant and once again I welcome to all of you in my sessions regarding CNC milling machines. So as I had told you in your previous classes that today we are going to discuss regarding the mechanism of a CNC milling machine. That means how does a CNC milling machine works overall. So in today's topic we'll be discussing how a CNC machine work. So without wasting much of the time, let us start today's session. So we know that as you can see on the slide how CNC milling machine work. So here let me tell you, first of all, to manufacture a particular thing we need a design or a drawing. So first of all, before that what we need now, we need a CAD part. As you can see on the slide it is there, we need a CAD part first, or even if 2D drawings or orthographic drawings we need it. From that what we'll do, we'll be doing the program. So generally first part is to get the CAD part, to get the drawing, then from that we need to do the programming. If it's a manual program then we can refer the orthographic drawings, and if it is a CAM program then we'll refer a CAD profile. Then once the program is done, the programming part is over, then what we have to do with the program, now we have to input the program to the machine. So we have to send the program to the machine, that is the input method. So we'll be discussing in details regarding these things, but I am just giving you a basic idea how the CNC machine works. Then next what happens, now this after inputting through the controller, then the controller will control the movement of the machines. So that is the basic fundamentals behind how the CNC milling machine works. So now let us start with in details. So CAD part we will not discuss, let us start with the programming one. So program, it is of two types. Let me tell you, the first one is manual programming. So in manual programming what happens, now generally in this type of programming we have to remember the codes like G codes, M codes, and we have to also know the sequence of programming which the machine understand, and according to that we have to do the programming. If it is a small part or small profile is there, then easily we can do the manual programming. Then the other type of programming that we can see, that is your CAM programming. So here CAM programming is what, through the help of a software, any CAM software like Dell CAM, Tevis is there, or Master CAM, different types of CAM softwares are available. So by the help of that CAM software what we have to do, now we have to generate the program. You have to give some inputs like parameters, different parameters you have to give the input, and from that the software will automatically generate thousands of lines as program, and we have to take that program and we have to give it to the CNC machine. So these are the two different types of programming. One is manual programming, another one is CAM programming. So when a complicated profile, a big profile is there, then definitely we have to go for CAM programming, because to write thousands of lines, even if more than that, it will take a lot of time, and a single mistake also can hamper the program. So for that purpose what we prefer CAM programming most of the time for the complicated profile. If it is a small job or small profile is there, then easily we can go for manual programming. So these are the two types of programming. Then next, after the programming is done, so how to send the programming to the CNC machine or to the controller. Initially we can say that one, how to send the program to the controller and what is the process. Now CAM program input to the machine, how it is to be done. It can be done by different methods. The first one, that is easy one, like by cable we have to use RS232 cable. So through this cable, the cable will be connected to our PC, and from that it will be connected to the CNC machine also, and the port, that the common port it should be there, that is RS232. So here by this cable also we can send the program. And even if the way I like how to run a CNC machine, that is by using a memory stick. Generally the program which is generated in CAM software, what we can do, we can copy it to a pen drive or a SD card, and from that what we can do, now we can put the pen drive or the SD card in the CNC milling machine, and from that we can run the program. And the latest technology I can say that we can get it, that is the Wi-Fi. So here what happens, now the CNC machines are having Wi-Fi, and from your system through Wi-Fi you can send the program to the CNC machines also. These are the recent trend, it is available nowadays with Wi-Fi connections. By through that method also we can send the program. So these are the three different types of methods by which we can send the program that means the DNC method I can say, or elsewise I can say that the computer generated program can be sent to the CNC machine through these three different types of methods. Then once the program is reached to the CNC machine or through the controller it is there, then how does it perform and how ultimately we get the end product, regarding that one we'll be knowing in machine tool operating mechanism. Generally machine tool means what? The milling machine. Okay, so here what happens, CNC machine means milling machine to which a computer is attached, but the programming has been already sent to the controller or the computer. Now how the machine will function we'll be knowing in details. So here moving on, controller. So here you can see controller is there. So in controller, first what happens, now the program we get it into the controller, and the controller then send the instructions to the drive. So these drives are very costly for different axes, like X axis drive, Y axis drive, Z axis drive. So for different axes, for one motor, one drive is there. So the controller will send the commands to the driver, and these driver what they will do, now they will send the command to the servo motors, and this servo motor will run the lead screw, or it will rotate the lead screw as per which the axis movement will be there. So this is the ultimate process how a CNC milling machine works. Now first of all, from a drawing we need to do the programming, and from programming the program is to be inputted to the controller, and from controller the instruction will go to the drive, motor drive, and from motor drive the instructions will go to the servo motor, and the motor will rotate the lead screw, and the lead screw will be moving the axis. On the lead screw the axes are attached, and that it will move the axis. So that was the working method. And here what happens, let me tell you one important thing, these drives are very costly. It cost around 1.5 lakhs, 2 lakhs, and even if more than that, depends on different types of versions. So one of the most important part of CNC machine I can say, these are the, if I talk about electrical and electronic equipments, then this servo motors and the driver units are one of the important and costliest part of the CNC machine. So here starting with the open loop system and closed loop system. So as you can see on the slide, it's already there. So here what happens in open loop system, what happens, and in closed loop system what happens, we'll be discussing now. So first of all, let me tell you, in open loop system and closed loop system, three things you will find common, that is control unit, driver and motor. But the thing that makes the difference between these two is the feedback device. So generally nowadays the CNC machines are available are mostly on closed loop system, so that the accuracy level will be very high. So feedback device, what it does, now it collects the data, whatever the work has been performed by the motor, and gives it to the controller, and controller compares with the input data whether it is done equally or not. If it is have not been done, then what it will do, it will again send the instructions to complete it. If it is done properly, then they will start with the second sequence of operation. So like this, there is a difference between open loop system and closed loop system via feedback device. In open loop system there is no feedback device, so the controller doesn't get any feedback how much the work has been done by the motor. But whereas in closed loop system you will find there is always a feedback device which will send the signals to the controller unit that what the task has been assigned to the motor is done or not. If it is done, then how much it is done. So let us know what are the different type of feedback device that are used on CNC milling machines. So I can say encoder is one of the example of feedback device that generally it is used on a CNC machine or CNC milling machine exactly I can say. And you can find here these encoder are of two types. One is linear encoder, another one is rotatory encoder. So linear encoder are mostly attached in the axis movement, whereas for the spindle rotations and similar type of operations, rotatory encoders are used. So CNC milling machine working principle, once again I am repeating that one. Here you can see first what we need. Now we need a CAD part or a 2D drawing, and from that we have to make the program, and from that we have to input it, means the program. If you are doing manual program, you can do it directly in the controller, elsewise you can generate the DNC program or the computer generated program, and you can input it to the controller via different mediums I had already explained. And after the controller gets the program, it will control the machine tool, and at the end we'll get our final output. So that was all regarding today's session. Hope you liked it and you are able to understand how does exactly a CNC milling machine work. So that was all from today's session. Hope you learned regarding how a CNC machine work and what is the mechanism behind making this machine as automized machine. And guys, in upcoming sessions we are going to start the sessions on how to operate a CNC machines, and these are going to be very interesting. Along with the different types of programmings, G codes and M codes, will be having our sessions. So please don't miss the upcoming sessions. Stay tuned to my classes on CNC milling machines. For today this much. Have a good day. Thank you all.